Socially direct, not politically correct. This is Getting Real with Kid Deville. Thank you for listening. Now let's get real.
Hey, y'all.
Cut the check, nigga. Cut the check, nigga. I run the cash for it. Run the cash for it. Don't make me ask for it.
Hey, y'all.
Cut the check, nigga. Cut the check, nigga. Cut the check, nigga.
What up? It's your boy Kid Deville, and you know we are back here with another episode of Getting Real with Kid Deville. I'm your host, Kid Deville, of course. And oh my god, like I literally just did an episode of this same literally episode, and now I gotta redo it again. But you know what? Whatever. We're not gonna let, evil stop us from getting our shit done. You know what I mean? We've been on a good one. We've been blessed lately. So we're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep moving forward. We have a good little show for you tonight. It feels great to be back. Lots of trials and tribulations, but we got through them. And, I'm just so happy to be back. Getting Real with Kid Deville was something that I started back in, 2020, like during the pandemic and everything. And, life happened, so I kind of just let it fall to the side along with, my podcast. Along with my beard oil. The music still, I've been putting out music, not as much as I usually was doing, you know what I mean? But I was still trying to put at least, I just released a compilation album with a lot of some old stuff, but it also had a lot of new stuff on it too. So check that out if you guys haven't. But yeah, we're back, babe. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. You guys know I got hit by a car. So that's why I've been kind of MIA lately, not making content and stuff. But just know, if you know, right? So we're here now. We're here. We're back at work. And yeah, we're going to get to work now. So let's see. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like I said, if there's a few things that go a little awry, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm still trying to get back into the thick of things. So I don't know. This episode might be a little rough looking, but I'm gonna do my best, you know what I mean, to still make it entertaining and not just look like a shit show. But usually we always have a good time here. So happy Pride, first of all, to all my LGBTQ brother and sister out there, plus, you know what I mean, everybody out there under the umbrellas and everything. Happy Pride to y'all, you know what I mean. I haven't went to any Pride events yet, but I'm supposed to be going to Pride next month in San Diego with a few friends, and we're going to be meeting up with one of our straight allies. Yes, we love our straight allies. So, yeah, we'll be down there. Probably get some footage and stuff, show some content down there. I've never been to San Diego Pride. I've only been to LA and WeHo Pride, which I love, but, it gets old. It gets old. So I feel like I leave that for the newer generation of gays, for them to experience. I love LA Pride though. LA Pride is a little bit better to me than WeHo Pride. So, but yeah. So like I said, with Getting Real with Kid Deville, this is just I just want to get a show. We're gonna have a lot. I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? But we're gonna have people on here interviewing. We're gonna have me, just going through reels, having little movie reviews, album reviews, all that stuff. So we're building the brand now. So you guys are here on the journey now. You guys, some of you have been here since day one, you know what I mean, have never left. And it's crazy that I still look back and some of the episodes are still being downloaded, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to bring some of those guests back that are still getting some play back, because I'm like, what? We was doing the damn thing back in the day. You know what I mean? We were having fun and all that shit. So, but this ain't gonna be a too long of an episode. It's just gonna be a little in and out, especially because I already filmed this fucking episode and I had to refilm it again because the sound didn't collect the first time. So yeah. Basically, I'm gonna, since it's a Pride month, you know what I mean, I got some clips, and we're just gonna discuss them, you know what I mean, just have some open forum conversations about them. I'm sure some of these we're gonna come back and visit again, you know what I mean, at later dates and whatnot. But yeah, these are just some things that came across my my phone, you know what I mean? I be scrolling, so I'm just like, I make a show out of it, you know what I mean? I be scrolling, so I'm like, take some of these topics and, let's form a show with it. Let's really get real, with Kid Deville. Kind of a little play on words there. So with it being Pride, you know what I mean? Pride is, I think Pride's only in June, right? But like for some reason, like they be having Prides up in like August, September, like, you know what I mean? So for me, I just be like, Pride is all summer. That's what I be saying. You know what I mean? Pride is all summer. But with that, I feel like with Pride, like we can't forget about all of our brother and sister in the LGBTQ or under the LGBTQ plus umbrella, and that includes, I think, DL men. And I know some of y'all gonna look at me like, what? But DL men, they are part of that. They are a part of the umbrella. They are part of the community. You know what I mean? Whether they claim it or not, they are part of the community that is questioning. You know what I mean? A DL. But I feel like DL men just get a bad rep because it's like, oh, this man's just cheating on his wife and da 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 da. But to me, I'm like, that's not necessarily always a DL man. To me, a DL man, because I've messed with DL men that like. That wasn't in a relationship currently with a woman, you know what I mean, who wanted to who was questioning, who wanted to try it out, you know what I mean. The person had ample opportunity to try it out with somebody else, but they felt comfortable enough to try it with me, and we kind of built a little relationship off of it, you know what I mean. But he wasn't with nobody currently. He wasn't with a woman at the time, you know what I mean. And I think that's why people demonize DL men so much, you know what I mean? Like they just get a bad rap that they're just like, sneaking around, just putting their dick in everything, etc., etc., etc. So, and I say that because I did find this one video that came across my phone, you know what I mean? And it was funny to me at first. It was like really, it was a funny video, but I was just like, I want to explore this because I was like, I feel like DL men kind of get left out of the conversation, but they are still part of the LGBTQ community. They're the questioning. Like, what do you think questioning is? They are questioning. You know what I mean? So let me play this video and I will get into it a little bit of a detail.
Man, I don't do download, man. 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 All that texting, vanish mode, sending messages, not sending messages, asking me if I have Snap. All of that gets you blocked. I don't do download, man. I'm a lady. I don't give a fuck. I'm a lady. I don't give a fuck what no bitch talking about. I'm a lady. I don't do download, man. Stop playing with me. And you shouldn't either, sis. Oh, my love.
That shit is funny. Like that shit with I don't do loud, I don't do loud, I don't. That shit is so funny to me. And like I said, I understand 100% where she is coming from because it's like mental gymnastics to some points. And you know what? I've gotten mad at my DL guy. I have a DL guy that I currently still talking to every now and then when he decides that he wants to hit me up. You know what I mean? And people probably looking at me like, well, Dom, why are you even entertaining that? It's like, whatever. Because sometimes I want to entertain stupid shit. You know what I mean? Everybody entertains stupid shit from time to time. Sometimes I want to entertain stupid shit. I think he's a cool guy. You know what I mean? And yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? Before I got with my boyfriend, I was the one that he wanted to quote unquote experiment with. And when he was questioning, you know what I mean? And I'll probably get into the story a little bit later, you know what I mean? But basically I had met this guy, you know what I mean, at somewhere where I used to pick up my green from, you know what I mean? He worked there, whatever. And, we just started talking, it was never on no gay shit, but I definitely thought he was cute. He was a cute little white, he was like a white boy. He said he was mixed with Latino, but he looked like a white boy to me who just grew up in the hood or something like that. But whatever. So we exchanged information, socials or whatever. And he was the reason why I actually took my massage and my music and broke it up, because I was like, fuck, I didn't want people to know Kid Deville first. I wanted them to kind of meet me first, especially I don't know. I just don't like to give people Kid Deville unless you found it online first and then you meet me. When I first meet you at work or in person, I'm gonna give you the massage therapy one, just because it's I don't want people, whatever. So I accidentally gave it to him. He saw it. He was like, oh, and that's when I was going by ambiguous rapper, whatever the fuck that means. And he was like, oh, ambiguous rapper. I can kind of guess what that means. Whatever. So time passes. He hits me up one day, a year and a half later. And I guess he was like, oh, yo, I just have a question for you. I always wonder what it was like to get, my sucked by a dude, you know what I mean? And this guy offered it to me, but I wasn't really feeling him or whatever. He's like, but I don't know. Like, I want to try it. He's like, would you be down to like try with me? Hell yeah, nigga. Like, fine as fuck. Like I said, but I asked him. I was like, are you like involved with anybody right now? He's like, nah, like whatever. Like I'm kind of in a custody battle or whatever with my kids or whatever. But whatever. Like that don't got shit to do with me. Are you with her right now? Like, are you gonna be sleeping and creeping? You know what I mean, behind her back and shit? Cause that's not what I want. But no, so whatever, we started exploring, experimenting, all that shit, you know what I mean? Of course, I wasn't going to force him to do nothing that he didn't want to do. I let him, experiment with what he wanted to do. It was fun for me, you know what I mean? It was fun allowing a man to explore, you know what I mean, really what he wanted to, especially a man who was so masculine, you know what I mean? Kind of a hood nigga, you know what I mean? It was hot. It was kind of hot, you know what I mean? And it was what it was. It did definitely started getting into the whole gymnastics where it's like, oh, don't call this number at a certain time. I'm going to hit you up at 3 a.m. in the morning. And you know what I mean? And it, like, you start just like, it gets annoying to a point where you're just like, bitch, I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? Like I said, sometimes in the morning I'm fucking on one and, I'm going to entertain it. It is what it is. But if that's just something that you don't want to do, babe, don't do it. But I just feel like we can't discount all DL men, because I feel like that's just not fair. You're trying to put a scarlet letter on somebody, and it's just like, that's just not fair. Like just because a guy's questioning or he doesn't want to put himself out there like that, he's not comfortable with it quite yet, that's fine. I think we all kind of started off like that. Like when I first came out of the closet, like I was like, well, how do I assimilate? Like, I don't know. Like I was rocking like a whole face of makeup. You know what I mean? Not like makeup, but I was wearing like foundation. And my grandma used to be like, oh, you look casket ready, bitch. And I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, I was trying to figure out what it was to be gay. And then it was just like, it's nothing. It's be your fucking self. You know what I mean? What you're doing behind closed doors has nothing to do with what you present in fucking public. You know what I mean? Just be gay if that's what you want to be. But some people just can't get past that mental block. And I think that is okay. Allow people to explore and navigate. Like I said, with this person that I'm exploring and navigate, this is like several years of, letting them, take the lead. And like I said, we have built a great friendship off of it. Like I said, it's a lot of bullshit in it, you know what I mean? Because then they start getting into the whole, I don't want to get too deep into it, but basically like waiting until I get in a relationship now, talking about, we should have been together and all this shit. And I'm like, boy, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, you're probably just drunk telling me a bunch of sweet nothings. So yeah, it can be draining, you know what I mean? But I also feel that we cannot discredit our DL men, and automatically put them in the category of just being cheaters. So, I found this other video that actually kind of plays off of that. So I'm going to play that right now.
Men love the bathhouse because they can come in when their kids are at school, when their wife's at Pilates, and bang a bunch of men and get away with it, because literally no one would ever know unless they come into the bathhouse and see them, which is probably no one in their circle. So a lot of DL men do come in. I do see a lot of guys who are married or just down low, and some people have a reason, like their family will not speak to them, unfortunately, or like kick them out, and that's totally understandable. But some of these guys are like literally married to women or dating girls, and they come to the bathhouse because that's the only way they can hook up with people. And I don't agree with it, but it is still a safe space, because there has to be some type of place where people go to feel safe, and that's the bathhouse. That's the bathhouse. Like, hey, I didn't tell them to come, but if they are going to come, I'd rather make them feel welcome and safe and protected than someone who's just going to out them. And I feel like a lot of people, once they find out that someone in the bathhouse is DL, there's like a stigma around it, and it's like, who cares? Like, do you want it or not? And a lot of guys secretly do want DL men because they look straight and they fetishize over it. So I'm like, who are you fooling? No one.
Right. And I mean, I don't agree with that first part with the whole when the kids are at school and all that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not with all that shit. Like I'm saying. And like, yeah, I have messed with a guy who was maybe had a girlfriend or something back in the day, but then you get older and you wise up and you're like, that's just not cute. Like, you look like the dumb one at the end of the day. Like, you're always going to look like the fucking homewrecker. You know what I mean? The girl's, she's never going to be mad at her man. She's going to be mad at you. You're going to be the fag. You're going to be the homewrecking fag. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He's gonna always tell you like he's going back to his wife and kids. So it's like, yeah, like when you're fucking with somebody who's being deceitful, then that's what you're gonna get. But just because a man is DL and not living a quote unquote gay out lifestyle doesn't mean that he's necessarily cheating all of a sudden and being like deceitful. So, like I said, if it's something that you I wouldn't say like absolutely turn it off, because you might fuck around and miss out on the love of your life just because you're on that shit. Like, you don't want to date a DL man. You know what I mean? You just never know. What else? There was something else I wanted to say. With, I guess that kind of goes along with also bi men. I feel like bi men also get like a bad rap too, and I'm guilty of it. Where I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could do a bi guy, and it's literally for the same reason why a girl wouldn't do it. Like, I'm like, girl, this, and I've had it where I was with like a quote unquote straight DL whatever guy, whatever, because people are gonna fight about that too. But whatever, a guy who said that he's straight. And by the way, let me throw something in there. I have messed with vagina before. Trans men and regular women, you know what I mean, have had vagina before. I'm not one of those golden gays, golden corral gays, or whatever y'all call them. You know what I mean? So I've had vagina. You know what I mean? That doesn't make me straight. You know what I mean? So whatever. But back to my thing. If a guy that I was messing with one time, and I remember we were having a good time, like hours. I'm talking, you know, like back in our 20s when we can go hours. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like, it was like, oh damn, I wish there was some pussy here. Now, why would you say that? Like, and it's like, even if you meant that shit, it's like it was like a cover up, like a, oh shit, like I liked what happened, but fuck, I still want some pussy, you know what I mean? So it's just like, if we want to cut down on that type of a bullshit like that with guys being DL, we can't be shaming guys, we can't be making them feel to be less than, you know what I mean? And women are women are guilty of that, you know what I mean? Oh, he's zesty, he's this, he's that, he's the third, you know what I mean? And then, of course, guys are going to stay in the closet. They're not going to want to come out the closet. I remember when I was fucking still trying to figure out my shit, I came out, oh, well, I'm bi, you know what I mean? Just because I thought it would soften the blow. Bitch, all of us came out, all of us gay boys were telling people that we was bi at one point, most of us. You know what I mean? Because we were like, it'll soften the blow. Well, we're gay as hell, you know what I mean? So shout out to my bi, to my DL dudes, you know what I mean? The ones that are living righteous. Like, we love you. Like I said, I don't have no problem with them. Like I said, I explored some great things with my DL man that I haven't with a straight guy or with a gay guy before. You know what I mean? So, like I said, sex is a spectrum, I guess you could say. And I feel like I'm glad that we're kind of getting out of that whole just gay and straight, because it's not just gay and straight. Like I said, like, there's a whole lot we could talk about, and we'll get into it. Even with the whole, I feel like if a man messes with a trans girl, that doesn't automatically make him gay. That does not automatically make him gay. Because my thing is, like, he's looking at the person as a attractive female. I am gay, right? I personally am not attracted to trans females. I'm attracted to trans men, you know what I mean? The girls that transition into men, you know what I mean? I'm also attracted to men. There are females that I see, cisgendered females that I see that I am attracted to, you know what I mean? However, I'm personally just not attracted to trans females, you know what I mean? My thing is like, and it goes back to, because it's femme presenting, one thing, that's fine. Like I said, I can find myself attracted to females. However, you know, I'm gay, so I'm more into masculinity. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So like I said, it's a spectrum. We will go down that rabbit hole fucking one day, I'm sure. You know what I mean? So, but just like I said, just let's be a little bit nicer to our DL and our bi brethren, because they are part of our umbrella. You know what I mean? Sorry. Another kind of thing that, you know, is really big with pride and like parties and all that is like, I see a lot of these think pieces of people just like, oh, the buff white gays and the buff these gays, and they don't want to be our friends and all this shit. And it's like, I'm so sick of hearing that shit. Like, it's like, honestly, it's not even that they don't want to be your friend. It's just like, you're just mad because they don't want to fuck you. That's like, let's just be 100% honest. Let's just be 100% honest. Because it's usually those dudes aren't the ones that are being mean at the bar. It's usually the ones that are not the muscle ones. The ones that are the baddie aesthetic, that want to fight and have the attitude and want to, you know, cut their eyes at everybody, smack their lips and everybody. So it's not even like the muscle gays that all they're worried about doing their drugs, who they about to fuck, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you walk over there and they're not giving you no attention, it's probably because they don't want to fuck you. I'm sorry, they don't. Like, and that's, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, let me see. This brother right here explained it, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? He's very much right.
And also, I want to talk about these body boy circles that people be complaining about. I mean, damn, like, y'all got to remember that these spaces are built around fitness and aesthetics and nightlife and a certain lifestyle. Some people spend years in the gym dieting, traveling, partying, and building those social circles. Then other people get online and they get angry that they're not automatically being invited to those spaces, or it's not diverse. Nobody is owed attraction, access, or exclusion in every social circle. The gay community reflects the broader society. I repeat, the gay community reflects the broader society. Cliques, preferences, status, beauty, etc. Begging for validation to be around a certain people, is ludicrous to me. If you want a exclusionary environment, create and build those communities yourself. Okay? Stop getting online complaining about guys in fit photos like this. Whether it's all black gay guys, all Latino guys, or all white guys. The gay community is never going to be some utopia of collectivism. It's just never going to be that. So instead of wasting your time getting online complaining that these circles are not diverse, create them. Like I have done. I have created an environment where I have friends from all nationalities, all body types. My friend circles are hella diverse. If parties, I can be in an all black space, a diverse space, or any other kind of space. I can go and be in anything. But I'm not going to get online and be upset or complaining that a group of body boys don't have other body types or other colors and races of people.
And you know what? I agree with him 100%. Like, to me, that is so insane to get online and be mad at somebody just because, like, they don't want to hang with you. Like, and I get it. Just because we're gay, we don't all have to be friends. Just because I'm black, I don't have to be friends with every black person on the face of this planet. I don't. Like, we don't. We don't have to do this. Like, just because somebody is similar, you don't have to be their friend. We can all just intermingle. I have a lot of white, Asian, Latino, straight. I have all types of people that I link with. You know what I mean? But I think this right here is like, this has nothing really, I honestly believe this has really nothing to do with, because I feel like whenever, and he really didn't say that, but I feel like whenever I see posts like that about like the groups, it's always like, oh, all these white guys with all their muscles and da-da-da-da. It's like, okay, so maybe they just live in a neighborhood where there's just not really that many other black guys that live there, or maybe they'll have a few in there and they'll be like, okay, well, maybe this is the only people in their, like, their vicinity. I don't get why it's an issue. And it's like, they're gonna they're guys. Like, we're gonna hang out or do what we want. When you have access and you have the ability to do what you want, you're going to do what you want. When you don't, like, I mean, I'm sorry, like, if you want to be around these guys, then get in shape, go to the gym, get yourself in shape, and up your game, step your game up. You know what I mean? If you feel like you shouldn't have to do that, then babe, don't do that. But then don't get mad when, the hot kids, the fucking quote unquote mean girls, they don't want to fucking sit with you. They don't want to fuck you. It's like, I don't think there's nothing here more than that. And I hate when I see these all the time. And it's just like, girl, just because people are white and buff doesn't mean that they're racist white gays. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the whole thing is like, oh, well, if they do have somebody in there, they're just fetishizing them. It's like, isn't that what sex is? It's fetishization. You know what I mean? That's what sex is. You know what I mean? You everybody has a fetish. You know what I mean? And I feel like people will get on here and try to demonize something that didn't go their way. You know what I mean? So then everything is just bad and wrong, and oh my God, this is a community issue. And it's like, no, it's not, babe. You know what I mean? You got to get with the program, babe. If that's what you want, if you want, like, you got to be what you want to attract. You know what I mean? I always liked buff dudes, muscular dudes. I didn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about race. I don't care about race. I don't care about color. None of that shit. You know what I mean? I just like, a certain build. You know what I mean? I don't even like, when I first, I was all muscle, jocks, Now I've brought in my, my horizons a little bit. I'll do a skinnier dude, I'll do a bigger dude, you know what I mean? But I still have my little qualms. Like, I still want somebody who's a little worked out. Like, you don't have to be fucking Mr. Olympia, but I would like somebody who has some nice arms, a nice, you know, booty, a nice whatever, you know what I mean? I couldn't sit up here and say that that's what I want if I'm not in the gym trying to get my, you know, to get my shit together, you know what I mean? So that's crazy to me. Like, of course there are the racist white gays and shit, and it's like usually they're not even that attractive, you know what I mean? They want to fuck dudes that look like they're 13, or they want to fuck dudes that look like themselves, you know what I mean? So it's like usually those aren't even the hot ones. Like I said, I never had a problem dating outside my race, you know what I mean? I never did, you know what I mean? I personally, have I experienced racism in the gay community? Probably. Was it that significant to the point where I'm getting on here making a think piece? Probably. No, it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Because for every, I guess, one white dude or one Latino dude or whatever that said no blacks, no fats, no femmes, I found fucking 5 other that was all in this fat black bitch. Like, what the fuck? So, like, but I found another video where this one guy, he kind of touched on what I kind of, you know, and this is not the say all do all, but I feel like this is kind of, he has a point here.
From years of meeting people, it's that the most attractive and fit and disciplined people actually happen to be the least arrogant, the nicest, the kindest. And the reason being is they have confidence. If you realize that the most unattractive people in society typically happen to be the most negative, envious, jealous, and hating people, you will understand that the big difference between both groups is the confidence. Because instead of getting the discipline and actually achieving those things that they want, they would rather demonize it and other people so that they feel like they don't need it, so that they feel like they're not lacking something. But that is the wrong approach. Take the approach of aligning with what those types of people that you want to be like have and what they do, and you'll start to realize you are attracting those kinds of people, and you start to feel more fulfilled within yourself.
Right. Get with the program or sit down. That's it. I mean, that's really it. And like I said, I have been to Palm Springs, I've been to New York Pride, I've been to, like, you know, I've been to the circuit party, and like, yeah, you see the gay boys, the buff ones with their shirts off, whatever, dancing, they be in their little crews and their crowds and the VIP, whatever, they be doing their thing. I've talked to some of them, you know what I mean? I don't really be trying to get picked by none of them, you know what I mean? So I guess, you know, whatever, but at the same time, I don't ever see them being mean to people. I usually see the little ones sipping on it with a little attitude, you know what I mean, rolling their eyes, cutting their, that's what I usually see, be having the attitude, you know what I mean, and it kind of exemplifies that in this one little clip right here that I has shown. And I'm not saying this is all, but I'm just saying, since everybody's always demonizing muscle white gays and muscle Latino gay and muscle black, it's like, no, no, just because somebody's attractive doesn't automatically make them an asshole. And I hate that. I hate that trope. And that's something that we'll definitely talk, you know, down the road. Like I said, all these topics are going to be revolving doors. So let me see. But this is the clip that I was talking about.
Cat, your energy bad as fuck.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
And it's no need to be sorry for me, because, I mean, I would never see you again. But your energy bad even before filming. Like, you like the type of gay niggas I be talking about, like, shit could be cool. Like, even earlier I asked Slim, what's your name? My name, don't give me all that shit. Like, I'm a real nigga, I smack you. But I'm in somebody's shit right now, so I can't be who I am. But it's just like, that be the part when this dating shit come about with gay people. This is why it's easier to date the trade. It's just easier.
We do like the trade.
It's easier.
I
I get more
necessarily say
respect
that.
from the trade than I do from a pump, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And then it be this part. You don't have to have it. This is why y'all don't cultivate relationships. This is why our community is not growing. If you look at gays in the 90s and the 80s, we were the better class of gays. We're cultured. We didn't have kids. We traveled. We did all this. Now everybody ratchet as fuck. Y'all not cultivate. Everybody want to be a city girl. I'm not dating a city girl. I'm not doing it. Okay, and then somebody asks somebody, what's your name?
Camera rolling, mic on, let's go.
He's absolutely right with that. And you see how old boy had an attitude like the whole time, and he's serious. Like, that's just the type of shit it'd be on. It'd be like he said, sometimes it's just easier to date the trade. You know what I mean? Because it's like some of these gay men, okay, let's just keep it real. They want to act like females. They want to act like women. You know what I mean? And it's like they want to be baddies. And it's like you're not even trying to act like the good females. It's like you're trying to act like the baddies, like the fucking, like the city girls, the prostitute baddies, like oh my god, you're trying to act like those girls. And it's like you're men, so it's like it's bad when they act like it, but it's like when you as a man with testicles between your legs act like that, it's even fucking worse. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, there's gonna be good and bad in each group, each sect, you know what I mean? But I just hate that it's like demonized to be like a hot, muscular man in the gay community. If you say no to somebody, you're like, you don't want to fuck somebody or something, like, then it's like you're the bad guy all of a sudden. And it's just like, no, like, I'm just not attracted to you. Like, the people are okay to not be attracted to somebody, you know what I mean? Now, when you start getting into, I'm not attracted to this person because they're fucking black or they're white or they're whatever, that is a different, that's the difference. And like I say, if you have a racial preference, that is a form of racism. I'm not saying that you are racist, but that is a form of racism. You know what I mean? But I don't feel like just because you are in a picture with a bunch of other men that look like you and you're all muscular, that you are automatically racist, mean, exclusive, or only, well, no, include, you'll be exclusive, you know what I mean, to people. Yeah, I just don't believe it. I'm like, if you want to attract those type of guys, then you should just like figure it out. Try to be friends with them. You know what I mean? Don't be all weird. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, bro, like, how do I get like you? I'm trying to get like you, bro. You know what I mean? That usually works. You know what I mean? I don't know. But like I said, maybe when I have some gay people on, we'll talk more about it. But like I said, this was just gonna be like a quick little touch up episode. You know what I mean? With Pride. Like I said, I had filmed the episode earlier, but I think we touched on enough for tonight. We have a couple of things. Like I said, we're just building right now. Like, we're building the brand. Everything's coming back into full effect. We're gonna start doing street interviews. We're gonna start showing a little bit more of my personality. You know what I mean? I know I be acting fucking funny on here, but I need to start doing some more, some other content. You know what I mean? Not just like always just sitting down and talking shit, but we gonna talk about some uncomfortable stuff. You know what I mean? I've had friends not want to be my friend no more because they think some type of way. But like I said, it's whatever. That means you weren't really my friend. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm here to let's have these uncomfortable conversations in the middle. You know what I mean? Let's meet in the middle. This is a middle ground for everybody. The right wing, left wing, straight, gay, racist, non-racist, whatever. This is the middle ground for everybody. You know what I mean? To come and let's have these conversations. Why are we like this? Why are we figuring? Why do I think like this? Can I see the other side of the coin? You know what I mean? Why can't I see the other side of the coin? These are just things that we really want to do. So like I said, if you're tuning in, it's you might get upset sometimes, but like at the end of the day, if we are going to move past stuff, you have to have the conversation, babe. You have to point out the elephant in the room. If you don't, then it's just gonna be still there. You know what I mean? So, but I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys again soon. Like I said, I don't know. I want to do a couple episodes a week, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna look like. But we will definitely be back sooner than later. That's all I will say. And please comment, like, share. Let's get the conversation going. That's the whole point of this. I really want to get the conversation going. You know what I mean? So, yeah, y'all. I hope y'all have a great night. Y'all be safe out there. And, yeah, happy Pride to everybody. Happy Pride to everybody. All my umbrella people. All my alphabet mafia. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.